RPN is not responsible for the views, actions, statements, or opinions of its guests, advertisers, or even its viewers. The information on this program is not to be construed as medical or legal advice. An appearance on this program is not necessarily an endorsement, and as always, we encourage you to do your own research. Enjoy the show. Good evening, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. As always, I am Zak, the Corruption Detector, and this is another edition of Red Pill News for Friday Night Livestream. Joining me live in the studio tonight is a special guest. However, it is not James Bradley. Unfortunately, James Bradley was unable to make it tonight, and so we're going to be doing a special 2-hour call-in, maybe not 2 hours, but a call-in AMA with just me, you guys, and my special guest sitting right here. So I want you guys to get your questions, comments, concerns, get everything together. We're going to do a call-in. You guys can ask me anything, my opinion on whatever it might be. You can tell me your opinion. And we're going to talk about that. So first, I just want to say thank you to everybody who is here. Thank you to all of the dedicated Red Pill 78 viewers. Do me a favor while we're waiting. Don't forget to like and share this broadcast. Help us break through the algorithm. And sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and we'll be right back after a very brief word from our sponsor. Burglaries across the country are on the rise. For example, San Francisco has reported a 40.8% increase in burglaries since the shelter-in-place orders began. Don't let yourself or your family become a target. My house is protected with the ultra-bright night solar light. The night solar light can be installed virtually anywhere due to the fact that they're solar-powered, have zero batteries, and no wires are required. I've partnered with Night Solar Light to give my audience 52% off their own ultra-bright floodlights, plus free shipping included. Go to nightsolarlight.com or click the link in the description or pinned comment below to get yours today. And remember, when you support my sponsors, you support this channel. All right, we are back. Thank you so much for joining us, and I appreciate y'all being here. Sorry that James Bradley couldn't be here. James, if you see this show, definitely get a hold of me. I'd like to see where you're at. This is our special guest tonight, and it is Baby Yoda. This is kind of a misdirect. Baby Yoda, of course, is not real, but Baby Yoda is in the audience, and this is the Baby Yoda that Real Red Pill Girlfriend got me for my birthday. Pretty funny. He's a cute little guy. I have to say I love the way his little hands look, like he's using his force abilities. Look at this. Very, very cute. Let me get the information for the call-in onto the screen here, guys, and I would appreciate everybody giving us a ring, and we can see what's going on in your world, what you guys are thinking about, how you're feeling about November, where we're going in terms of the country. You know, I was looking at stories to cover, you know, maybe things that were interesting that had popped up, and the biggest thing that I saw was that it looked like there was a lot of what appeared to be pushback from law enforcement. Let me see. How do I put this up here so it looks good? All right, I'll put it up there, you guys. The meeting ID and the passcode are right up there in the upper left. So how are you guys doing? How's everybody doing in the chat? Let's see, Baby Yoda. Yeah, I dropped Baby Yoda on the floor. I don't know what to do with him. I just had to get him out of here. Sorry, honey, I'm sorry. I just dropped him on the floor. He's right next to me. He's okay. I heard that there was several Trump... What is going on? Why does my camera keep turning off? There we go. I heard that there were some Trump parades today. If you guys went to any Trump parades, I know that... What in the world? Why does that keep happening? All right, I'm not going to touch the table. We'll see what's going on. Hog, what's up with you, brother? Why don't you call in, Hog, and we can talk some more about the idea of this MAGA gear day that we were talking about last night. Yes, Karma Anon. Yeah, please call in, man. I need an emergency guest. I didn't have any time to call anybody else. Normally, I would have just reached out to a couple people, but it was very, very late, and there was no time for me to do that. So here, I'm gonna drop the Zoom link into the chat here, and let's get some calls. Let's see what is on your mind, guys. There we go. Can't read the number. Okay. Well, there's the Zoom number right there. And the number is the same. The phone number is always the same. So why don't you guys do me a favor, write this number down, and then you'll always have it. Let me go ahead. Oh, look at that. We do have our first caller. Thank you. There is a God. Let me get this over here. There is the meeting ID and the password and the phone numbers. And let's take our first caller. Caller, you're on the air. Can I get your name? Caller, can I get your name?
Hello, Red Pill.
Hi, who's this? I think you're listening. Are you listening to the stream and not?
Hello, Red Pill.
Are you not? Are you listening to the stream? Holy Chi-Chi! Are you listening to the stream? Like, do you have the stream turned up? Because it seems like there's a delay when I say something to you.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah. We're here. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. What's your name?
Mr. Hatfield.
Mr. Hatfield. Welcome back to the show,
I
Mr.
called
Hatfield.
yesterday.
Yeah. How are you?
Good. So I'm wondering if you'd, like, once the virus ends, if you would like to join me in the reenactment unit to see a Civil War reenactment.
Where would that be at?
Well, they actually all over Illinois area, but one in Elgin was shut down for political reasonings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that could happen for sure, man. I've never been to a Civil War reenactment, but I've seen footage of some. But that would be pretty cool. How large are they? How many people do you generally have involved in those?
Well, some units usually don't have no more than 12 people show up.
Okay, all right.
Like about 10 to 20 units that show up.
All right, yeah. I mean, that would be totally cool, dude. I would definitely be interested in checking something like that out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else? What else is on your mind?
Well, I'm still trying to, I'm dropping red pills here and there around the city, without no one realizing it.
Good stuff. Like what?
Like, I've been putting up posters at midnight when no one's out on the streets.
I like that. What are you putting up on the posters?
The truth. I'm basically doing what Martin Luther did, and that started his version of the church. If you remember hearing about that thesis that he nailed up on church.
Yes. No, I definitely remember. So I mean, have you written like a document, or are you just writing specific instances of truths that need to be revealed?
I did both. I even put written links on them, where they can actually notice that I'm telling the truth.
Okay. All right. Very cool, man. How long have you been doing that?
Well, since 2016, since Trump started running, actually.
Okay. That's cool, dude. That's cool. And so you've been doing it for 4 years, and nobody's figured out that it's you yet?
Yeah, not yet. Like, I started doing it, and then I moved to Illinois, and I'm doing it even more.
Awesome. Well, I think that's a great idea. Have you had anybody like comment on the fact that it's happening? I mean, has it received any notoriety?
Nope.
Okay. So under the radar.
Except for I found out there's a few neighbors that are Trump supporters, and we're basically meeting secretly.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. It's like the resistance, but, for Trump.
We're the ones who want the truth out.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, man. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad that is working out for you. All right, sweet. Okay, well, listen, Mr. Hatfield, stay in touch, and we'll continue to talk about me coming out to a Civil War reenactment. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, they are fun. Like, when public leaves, most of the reenactors, they go and drink beers and tell stories.
All right, cool. Well, I don't drink, but I'll certainly hang out.
Yeah, you might like to hear some of the first reenactments from the other reenactors. There are some that are like old enough to be my grandpa.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, brother. Well, thank you for your call, man. I appreciate you dialing in.
Yeah, and I would like to tell everyone, and it's time to do what I've been doing. Do what Martin Luther King had done, or not Martin Luther, like Reverend Martin Luther,
right,
from the medieval.
Beautiful.
And the whole thesis.
All right, man. Well, listen, we're going to go to the next caller. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a great night.
You too. God bless.
God bless. All right. Good stuff. Okay, so Wheezy's asking me to slow the chat. Give me just a second. It's going to take me a moment. Oh, the dogs had to go freaking out as soon as I started. All right, so there we go. All right, let's go to the next caller. I think I saw Aaron Moriarty calling in next after Mr. Hatfield. Aaron, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Red, how you doing?
I'm good. I know you can't see me, but for some reason my camera keeps shutting off in Zoom. So I've got myself on screen with the call. So it's the same effect for the audience, but unfortunately the people calling in aren't going to see me. So what's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Well, I didn't get your the notification, but I thought, boy, I better check, and you were just going on, so I'm really glad that I checked, because I know how that is when someone doesn't show up to be a guest, and so I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah, thanks.
And
I appreciate it.
I just wanted to, I've been thinking about everything that's been happening, and the brilliance of what Trump is doing and has been doing, it just amazes me. Like, leaving it up to the states to do all the lockdowns and everything. And constantly, pounding it home that it's these governors and the mayors, the Democrat mayors. And I just think that it's going to result in a gigantic red wave, not only in the House, Senate, and the White House, but in towns and cities and everywhere. Governors, it's going to be pretty amazing. Because the people can see through it. I mean, they know, like in California, a church can't be open, but a strip club can. I mean,
right? How ridiculous is that? I completely agree with you, Aaron. I mean, I think that President Trump has played this exactly how it needs to be played. I mean, it's because of the Democrats, first of all, that the country is still shut down. You've got what happened there in San Francisco with Nancy Pelosi walking into that salon, not wearing a mask. First of all, asking them to open so that they could accommodate her in a special manner, showing up without a mask on. Clearly, she doesn't care about wearing the mask. It's not a danger. She knows that. And the fact that she's out chastising other people, chastising the president for having the Republican National Convention there on the White House lawn. Many people not wearing masks, many people nobody's social distancing and everybody's fine. I haven't heard of a single case coming out of the RNC. And I also haven't heard about Nancy Pelosi catching anything. So, you've got a huge red wave amongst so many various segments of voters, just like you said. And there are more salon owners there in California that are coming out now. And they're talking specifically about how, as a result of what just happened, they're definitely Trump supporters now. That woman who owns the salon, she raised like almost a $250,000 on the GoFundMe, $220,000, so that she can relocate her business, go someplace else that is open. Obviously, many other places in California are open. I think San Francisco is she said that's the last place that remains closed. And, it's completely unnecessary. So all of these closure orders with them, it's done by the governors, it's done by the mayors, all of these various areas, and they're all Democrats. So people can look at their local businesses, their economy, look at their own pocketbooks and say, wow, if it wasn't for these Democrat governors and mayors, then my city or my state would be open. The rest of the country is more or less thriving. Anybody who's opened back up again is on the right track. You can pretty much go anywhere. The only thing that I'm upset about still is that we have to, that there are these mask orders in public. And, I'm looking around at these people and I don't know, maybe it's because I can't see their faces or I'm not talking to them, but there are so many people who are just like, okay, great, I'm just going to wear a mask for forever now. Or a real red pill girlfriend and I went out to eat today, and it's like an open, like all the tables are in the street. It's open air, and that's not so bad. I don't mind eating outside. I actually kind of like it. But there's giant jugs of isopropyl alcohol sitting every 6 feet. So we went and got ice cream, and there are these little kids, and they're carrying around bottles of Purell. Everybody's rubbing alcohol on their hands every 30 seconds. I don't think that's good. I don't think that, maybe a fewer people are going to, get a common cold. But overall, I think that in the end, people's immune systems are going to degrade because they're not going to be getting those, microbes and those bugs and then having the opportunity to fight them off. But yeah, I think you're totally right. I think we're going to sweep it in November. And I think that in many, many different places, it's going to be the exact same thing. I think the Democrats are going to get hit hard.
Yeah, I think I've solved the mask problem. As you know, I'm an inventor.
Yeah.
I normally invent toys and games and things like that. But also, I'm into this, the alien technology and things like this. So I've gone ahead and I've developed what I call the Invisa Mask. Let me put it on for you.
Okay.
Okay. Put it on. Adjust it. Okay. It's on.
There you
go. The greatest thing about the Invisa Mask is you can't feel it and you can't see it. Now, it took me a lot of time and effort to develop this. And also it works in conjunction with your immune system. Mm-hmm. So I encourage everyone. Now, I've gone ahead and I've sent one out to everyone in the nation. It's in your mailbox. Be careful because it's also in an invisible envelope. So grab it very carefully, open it up, put your mask on. You don't even have to take it off ever. So you'll be safely protected. And you won't have to be able to see everyone's face. So
there you go. That's exactly what we need. Problem solved by Aaron Moriarty. Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. So what else is going on? What's on your mind?
Well, it's all this stuff is really on my mind. It's crazy what's going on. And George Soros is behind all these demonstrations and riots, and it's all done to try to oust Trump. That might work in a third world country like it has. Mm-hmm. Fund a small uprising and then topple the government, but Trump is just a little bit too smart for that, and it's backfiring brilliantly, I think. And it's amazing. And, my friend, I talk to my friend a lot, and my friend Queppy, he really, I agree with you. He agrees with me. So if anyone hasn't seen my show, Queffy, come on over to Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarty on YouTube and check out Queffy. He has all kinds of memes that he shares, and he's just a cool guy.
That's great. All right, Aaron, thanks for your call, brother. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll
Take
talk
care.
to you soon. And bye-bye. You know what? When it's on this view, I don't know how to go to the next caller. There we go. Thanks, Aaron. We'll talk to you, buddy. Peace. TC Common Truth. Does Red Pill like soya? Do you mean like soy? Or do you mean like Goya? If you're talking about Goya beans, yes. If you're talking about soy, no. Let's go to the next caller. Sweet. Oh, okay. Sorry. Cheerin' cricket. Chirpin' cricket? Is it supposed to be chirping cricket? Okay, let me do a couple of thank yous while we're waiting for that. The Mix House says, thanks for all you do, RP. Dina says, where we go one, we go all. We got this. Trump 2020 landslide. Be kind to one another always. Thank you, Dina. Natalie, thank you very much, Natalie. Also to Hagop, and may God bless you. May God bless you as well. And then so that's it. That is everybody. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. All right, so looks like that caller is not coming in. So we're gonna go with Sweta next. All right. And let's see, guys. We've got just over 2,200. Wow, 2,200 people here, and it's just me on the air by myself. That's crazy. Do me a favor. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Thank you to the people who have donated. I've seen a couple of people in the chat, and I'm sorry, it's difficult for me to watch the chat, but I saw somebody saying something about Pepe the Frog. I see Kim Huseman says, what does Keck mean? I'll talk about those things again. I've talked about both of those things before, but we'll go ahead and talk about it again. Sweta, what's going on?
Yeah, hi, Red Pill.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yesterday I was talking about the guy who made the viral Bernie video. His name is Matt Orflia.
Okay.
Now, you should see his Change My Mind session. Actually, it wasn't with Sam Tripoli. I went and checked. It was with another guy with the T, Travis. But this Travis guy, he had him because he supposedly had more information on QAnon than Matt.
Okay.
But you should have seen the questions that Matt is. I didn't really watch the Change My Mind session earlier, and I made it a point to watch it today.
Mm-hmm.
It's something you should really watch.
Can you send me the link?
He's very open-minded about the whole QAnon thing, Matt Orflia, and he's a Bernie supporter. But if you see his channel, he's also calling out these social justice warrior Karens and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that you should have Matt on for your. I would request you to have Matt on in your Change My Mind session on QAnon. Okay. Matt Orflia and Jason Bermas and Robbie Martin.
Okay.
Again, they're not going to be people who are going to be excited about QPOS, but as long as they are open-minded and curious and keen observers, that would be really good for Q movement. And Matt, he did not even have Matt Orflia. He did not even have a guy who was a QAnon supporter, and he was asking the guy questions. You have nutcases in Hillary Clinton supporters, and you have there'll always be a few people who are who are out of track, but you don't ban all supporters or an entire movement or stop a particular thing from trending on Twitter. And you have and he specifically mentioned there's a lot of harassment on Twitter. You have Antifa, like he didn't specifically mention Antifa, but the like. And these guys aren't banned, for the amount of violence that they do, but only the QAnon thing is. So that's.
I mean, it goes to show you. It goes to show you how worried they are about the movement, because clearly there is far more than just an element of truth to it. I mean, it's dangerous to them, and that's why they have to ban it. That's why they have to kick people off these platforms. That's why they have to regulate speech. And the reason that they're not blocking the other guys, or they're not removing the other guys, even in the face of overwhelming evidence of violence, is because they are supporting the agenda that they want to implement. I mean, they want a world where people are afraid to speak, where people are just going to follow along and do whatever they are told to do. So there you go. I mean, unfortunately, that's not us, and so we're the ones that get banned.
Yes, I would request you to watch that, video of Matt Orflier talking about QAnon and the questions he's asking. To get, to have a feel of the mindset of, how a normal person in the left who is actually a Bernie supporter, who actually was releasing even anti-Trump videos once earlier, but now he's also focusing on the social justice warrior Karens, and how open-minded he's being about QAnon, and what are the questions he's having about QAnon followers. And it's something I would really request you to watch it.
All right, I will definitely check it out for sure.
And also call him for the change of mind session, because he wasn't talking to a sensible, rational QAnon supporter.
Okay.
Rather than when a YouTube content creator talks to another sensible YouTube content creator, I think then it helps more than just a random supporter.
All right, I will definitely. I'll definitely look into it. Can you send me the link to that show?
Yeah, I will. I'll send you an email right immediately after the live stream.
All right, I appreciate it. Well, Sweeta, thanks again for your call. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. All right, so Scott just sent me a message or a donation on PayPal. He says, all of LA County is still shut down, costing my business well over $500,000 so far. Keep up the good work, Red Pill Crash. Scott, man, I am so sorry to hear that. And what's so insane about it is that California, Governor Newsom, he's destroying the state. Okay, for some reason, every time I put my arm down on the table, it cuts out my camera. He's destroying the state, and he's virtually ensuring that people are going to leave California. I mean, they just put in an incredible tax on people, and I heard that they are going to retroactively charge people for that tax. So even if you moved out of the state of California, they're going to go back and get you for years past. So absolutely insane. Let's go ahead and bring in our next caller. Wow, 17 people on the line. Look at that, you guys. Thanks for calling in and helping make this show successful. I hope you guys can still see the meeting ID there. That right there. We'll go ahead and get something. Get that. Excuse me. There we go. The Zoom link. Get the Zoom link in here again. Corey, is that you?
Yeah, I'm there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. What's going on? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. I appreciate you calling in. What's on your mind?
I had a couple things. I've seen something a while ago that I thought would interest you. It should interest you a lot. But with the favorite anon concept of the white rabbits, who have we come up with a definitive answer who that is, who the white rabbits are? Well,
I think that the only thing we have is theories, and it could either be okay. Well, what I think it is the actual, like, the children that are actually trafficked. I think, like, from there is that artwork with the sculptures, which appear to be men in white rabbit costumes. But at times it looks like they are the kids, and then at times it looks like they are the abusers. Now, we know that in situations like this, children they can be kidnapped, and then they're abused, and then they're groomed to become the kidnappers. Like Epstein had many girls that he abused, and as they became older, he changed their role and they became procurers for him. So maybe that's what the white rabbits are. Maybe they're children that have been victimized, but then become part of the machine, as time goes on. But we haven't received, an explicit answer, that yes, this is what the white rabbits are. But do you have a theory yourself?
Well, do you have the capacity to pull up YouTube videos on your show? Because I saw something in the Hidden King, Jeffrey Hallett, the guy that's claiming to be the real
royal
bloodline.
Yes, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
at the 13 minute 45 second mark, it blew my mind. He opens a letter written by Queen Victoria in 1850, and it's got this mark on it that's a rabbit, and he said it's the most valuable royal mark in the British Empire, and it's a rabbit.
Huh.
And that's the first thing I thought of when I saw that, is because in the Q post he references the bloody wonderland as being Saudi Arabia, which is a country,
Right.
and HRC is Alice, and then he says, "Who are the white rabbits?" And that's all he says, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got essentially a politician and a country. So if it's all in the same vein, then the white rabbits, it could very possibly be a country or a royal bloodline even.
Okay. Yeah. Well. That actually could be. That makes a lot of sense. Can you actually send me the link to that? I'm not going to be able to get it pulled up on this episode, but it's something that I could probably pull up on Sunday's episode.
Sure. Should I send it in the Zoom chat or in the YouTube chat?
Yes. Well, no, just send it to my email, redpill78@protonmail.com, and then put white rabbits in all caps in the subject line, and I'll be able to find it that way.
Okay. And then I had another question for you.
Okay.
Pick your brain. What's the difference? Like, how is an investigation? Okay, how do I ask the question? When is somebody investigated by the military versus, say the Department of Justice or civil?
Well,
how do they make the determination?
Well, it would have to be the military gets involved when it's a matter of like an act of war, or if the person is a member of the military. If it's a matter of so like as far as like a military tribunal is concerned, people would have to be designated as an enemy combatant, and then they would be tried in a court like that. If it's just a standard like civil or criminal case, that's where it comes up in a regular courtroom. But these people that we're talking about here, like the cabal, I mean, that they're working to destroy the country itself. I mean, that in and of itself is an act of war. So if they do go down, then it would be in a military tribunal in that sense. Now, if you are an active duty military personnel and let's say you commit a crime, murder, rape, something like that, then that's where you're going to be court-martialed, and it won't go to like the DOJ. The military will just handle it in-house.
Okay, so basically, if you're an active duty military person and you commit a crime in the course of your job, then you would first be investigated and tried through the what do they call it, the JAG?
Well, JAG is for specific branches, I believe, but I want to say JAG is Navy. I don't know. I'm not in the military. If anybody here actually wants to call in and like give us a specific rundown of how that works, but I know that JAG is some type of investigative body within the military court system. But I don't know specifically when they would be called in, or if they would be called in every time. Basically, my knowledge of the JAG is like that television show that came out about it.
So I'll give you the reason for my question and my line of thinking on this is because the president is the commander-in-chief, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, so the commander of the military is obviously military himself. But it would stand to reason. And so we look at the interview that William Barr gave, was that a few months back, where he was they tried to corner him on whether he was going to interfere in the election. And he made the very blunt statement that neither Barack Obama or Joe Biden were being investigated. And that had a lot of people that were upset. But I was thinking about that, and Q has spoken many times about the military is the only way. And Barack Obama, even though he's no longer president, like all former military they're always on call, are they not?
Yes, if you were in the military, then I think they can pull you up if they want to. But that's very astute of you, because if the DOJ would not necessarily be investigating or preparing to bring charges if the charges are so severe that it arises to the offense of a military or a war crime. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so because it really bothered me too, and it bothered like everybody in the community was upset when Barr said that, and then I thought for a while about it, and I thought, well, hang on a sec. If Joe Biden was second in command as VP, then he's also military. He has to be, and so would the Speaker of the House, and so on and so forth. So, William Barr could have very easily been telling the truth. And you could say maybe a white lie at the same time. I mean, because if he's not investigating them, if his department is not investigating them, that is true. But he would have no firsthand knowledge about any military investigations. And of course, all the acts that those guys committed was always in their capacities as commander in chief and second in command in chief. So we're talking, those are military acts of treason, no question in my mind.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And also the other thing is, they don't always tell people when they're under investigation. I mean, clearly, President Trump was under investigation. They said he wasn't under investigation. They allowed him to, they tried to make him believe that. I think that he always believed that he was. But, if they were to come out and say Joe Biden and Barack Obama are under active investigation, that would put them on a certain amount of defense, and they could immediately begin the process of trying to destroy evidence or to, cover up whatever, evidence for their crimes existed. This is something I've often said here is that, we're not necessarily, privy to the actions of the DOJ and whoever it is that's doing the investigation. And just by having the awareness of whatever investigation is taking place, before they're ready to announce it, it could jeopardize the successful completion of it. So whichever way it turns out, I am confident that all of these people are going to get what's coming to them, regardless of whatever direction it has to go to get there.
And the other thing is, too, is we look at history, and if we take, what do you call that, the precedents that the Democrats set, they had they have 53 interviews in Congress, and every single one of them said that they had no evidence of collusion with Russia, but every one of them went on to the media and lied their asses off. Oh, pardon me.
Oh yeah, appreciate it.
Pardon me. They lied their bums off on TV, but when under oath, they told the complete opposite story. So I guess if precedence is of any value, then maybe Barr and Trump and the White Hats are saying essentially we can say whatever we want while on TV because we're not under oath. What's good for the goose is good for the gander kind of thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, Corey, thanks for your call, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Appreciate you watching. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, let me do a couple of quick thank yous. Felix says, my name is on a voter roll, but I'm not a citizen. Look at that. Felix, I appreciate you letting us know, and I hope that you're not planning on voting, even if you are going to vote for President Trump. But become a citizen, and then you can vote for President Trump legally. But look at that. It just goes to show you how easily they put people on the voter rolls, even though they're not legally allowed to vote. This is why we need voter ID. Thank you, Felix. Steve says, people getting red-pilled all over. You're the best. Steve, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And also, Dana Finkler, longtime friend of the program, he says, where we bark one, we bark all, #Muffingate. You guys, I got some video of Muffin and Chi-Chi playing in the field today. It was so cute. I'm going to go ahead and play it on Sunday. Let's see. We got 21 people, more people than we normally have. This is great. Okay. We're going to bring in Kip next. Kip, I hope you're doing okay. Kip, you're on the air. Love the shirt. Oh, you're on mute, buddy. You're on mute. You go to the bottom.
There we go.
There we go. You're unmuted. Welcome to the show, Kip.
How's
Thank
that?
you for joining us.
Thank you. I just wanted to call in and say my wife and I really enjoy your show, first and foremost.
Thank you.
And you've been on a roll, and it's kind of ironic that you're spending the evening just with the callers here at the last minute.
Yeah, definitely. I had two choices. I could just call the show off and not do anything, or I figured, why not do this? When we were just talking earlier this evening about when we were in New Jersey. and Real Red Pill Girlfriend, she said, I can't believe 60,000 people watched your AMA from your iPad in the hotel room. And I was like, yeah, I know, I couldn't believe it either. And I was like, I would feel bad if I didn't show up here and at least give you guys the option to call in, and then we can talk about some stuff. But well, Kip, thank you very much for watching, and I'm glad that you decided to call in. Well, what else is on your mind?
Well, I'm an optimistic person, but I had an old friend that I had a conversation with recently, and he said to me, I knew he had been for Trump the first time around, but he actually said to me that he was a lifetime Republican, and that he was furious with the president.
Really?
And that thought he was the worst person that ever lived. And he was basing it on the fact of what he'd heard about what he'd said about John McCain. And so, I immediately dug up some information and told him that, truthfully, I was right there with him, oblivious for the longest time, until my wife woke my butt up with some, truth. And I feel confident that I can get through to him, frankly.
Good.
But on the other hand, I'm just curious, has anybody else, I literally can't think of anybody I've seen head that direction. But
I've seen people get upset about President Trump's treatment of No Name, just thinking that just because somebody is a veteran means that you can't say anything negative about them. But I would say just because somebody's a veteran, and God bless their service, but that doesn't mean that they were a good person necessarily. We still have war criminals who fight in wars all the time, but I think that objectively speaking, if your friend was to get the evidence about John McCain and what he did in the Hanoi Hilton and how he essentially turned his back on his country, it makes it a little bit more understandable for why the president would say what he's said about John McCain. And don't forget, John McCain was a major reason that the Steele dossier made it into the public consciousness.
I know.
Yeah.
I hit you with an email a few minutes ago about a website that kind of sprung out of all this. Really, frankly, I feel the Lord put it on my heart, and I've tried to walk away from it many times, but something always happens and brings me back. And it's really just been my research. And along the way, it really has become, I think, a pretty powerful red pill tool. Mm-hmm. Right at the foundation of it is just, you've got to understand Project Paperclip and the following Operation Mockingbird, or you just haven't got a chance.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But if you can just get there, and it's not like that's hard to find, if you can just get there, I think anybody's got a chance.
I completely agree with you. And were you watching last night, Kip, when I was talking with JR about my theory about Project Paperclip?
I absolutely. I love it. Just it so resonates from my anecdotal evidence.
Yeah.
With people, if you can get that through to them, it makes you rethink things.
Absolutely.
It's like, most of us thought we won World War II.
Yeah, I know, right? But it was a difficult thing for me to even come to.
Right. It's just, come on, man. No wonder our grandparents and the people that were actually there, they did not want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. As a child. They just did not want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think I know why now. I think I get it. I think that they just had no way to do anything about it, and they just tried to they just spoiled us. Baby boomers were spoiled generation if there's ever been one.
Very true. Very true. I got one more question for you here. Do you play Frisbee golf?
I love Frisbee golf.
I do too. So that's awesome. Is that a glow in the dark behind you? Your disc on the wall?
I believe it is. I've got a couple baskets here on my little 1 acre place.
Awesome.
Surrounded by horses and cornfields, and it's really been an idyllic spring and summer to be in quarantine here in flyover country.
That's beautiful. I love it. That's so cool. That's a dream of mine, is to be able to have enough land so that I can have a couple of baskets, and or a whole course would be sweet. But I think that's a bit of a stretch goal. But
if you're interested, I'd love to spend a little time with you down the road, showing my website how it's a powerful red pill tool. We can talk about that down the road if it interests you.
What's your email? Because I've got my email pulled up and I just can't tell which one it is.
It's goodnewsandtribune.com. Goodnewsandtribune.com.
Good News and Tribune. Oh, you sent me this when you were first building it. It's, for some reason, it's not pulling up for me. Good News and Tribune. Oh, for some reason the .com did not.
I typed it in there funny because I didn't know if YouTube would let it go through.
Yeah, here, let me show the audience real quick. Here, oh shoot, that's the wrong one. This is the right screen here, guys. You should be able to see this. Here, let me drop this link into the chat, and yes, here you go. Yeah, I definitely I remember this.
I sat down about November of 2018, which was about 11 months after Q started, and I just drew out this crazy map one night, and my wife just kind of looked at me, and she sent me to, I believe, a Joanne video, Plan to Save the World.
Yes.
And I've been a child of politically active activist mother who told me it was going to be communists were coming, and for some reason she thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And
oh man.
And I'm telling you, and so I was like, they wanted me to be a troop. I could easily be an Antifa today if I'd have followed the path my mom and her friends put me on.
Wow.
I actually stood in front of the White House when Jane Fonda was there, and they made it look like everybody and their brother was there to end World War in Vietnam, and it was really, looking back on, I could tell it was fishy, but I realized looking back it was a made for TV, hysteria thing that the few networks there were back then just broadcast, and it was bizarre, but looking back on it, it was the deep state at work.
Absolutely. I mean, they play the long game, dude. They are, we're looking at, this is another thing we were talking about last night, but we tend to think about it in 4-year cycles, we're trying to make sure we keep getting the right people in there. We can drain the swamp as quickly as possible, but they are literally planning out, decades in advance. And if it takes them, 10, 15, 20 years to get just one check mark on their list of things that are going to be necessary to change America for the worse, then they're fine with that because they've got all the money in the world. They don't need to worry about it.
Well, luckily Donald Trump worked faster than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a unique moment in history. All the stuff that's gone on in the past that, between dozens and hundreds of people we're talking about for most of our lives, on any serious level, there was no digital age that was documenting things. And frankly, you got to say that the Clintons and their associated people of the last few decades have been sloppy. They've been sloppy. In a digital age, they've been sloppy.
Well, as our favorite Anon said, they never thought she would lose, and they thought they were going to win no matter what. They thought that it was too late. They had already destroyed us, despite the fact that we had this, the internet and the powerful dissemination of information that we have. But we proved them wrong. President Trump helped us out in so many ways, innumerable ways. But he couldn't have done it, I don't think, if it wasn't for all of us here on the ground at the same time. We helped to spearhead, push all this information out, and to destroy them in a way that they did not expect.
Nothing has made my faith stronger than seeing the president win in 2016. And it is a biblical moment.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I love Ock News.
Yes.
The Marine, former Marine.
Yes. He
has a great heart and talks about a lot of dark stuff, but it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know there's lots of people out there. All right. I could talk to you all night, frankly, but I know lots of others that want to get in. So.
All right, man. Well, listen, I appreciate your call. Thanks again for sending your website. I dropped it into the chat a few times, you guys. So go ahead and make sure you check that out. And then tell me, look at your analytics after tonight. Let's see how many people joined or how many people went to view the site. Okay.
I bet it'll be more.
All right. All right. Well, say hello to your wife. Tell her thank you for watching, and we'll talk
Nobody's
to you guys
doing
soon.
it better, man. Nobody's doing it better.
All right, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. God bless.
You too.
Peace. All right, good stuff, you guys. Let's see. Who do we got next? We got 17 people waiting. Alphabet Soup. Let's bring them in here. All right, you guys. Hello. Oh, that is a great avatar right there. Look at that. Where we go on, we go all. Beautiful. Let me get that Zoom link. Drop that in the chat again for you guys. And there we go. Hope everyone out there is having a great night. We've got quite a few people. Hopefully we'll be able to get through all of them. Let's see how many people we got here.
Hello?
Hello, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Brad? How are you?
I'm good. Is this Alphabet Soup?
Yeah, you can do Q soup, whatever. It's all
Q
good.
Soup. All right, Soup. What's going? Dude, I love your avatar.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I really appreciate that, dude. I'm a huge fan of yours.
Thank you.
Muffin Gate is hilarious. And
Yes.
I'm really excited to talk to you, man, because I've haven't been following Q for the longest time, but I want to say probably like a year now, and I've done my research, did my digging, but I keep coming around. What's your thoughts on Paul Ryan?
Oh, Paul Ryan is dirty as heck. Okay, so Paul Ryan is the classic rhino. He was a Republican in name only. Maybe he's got some conservative values, but he was essentially in office for the power. He was there to enrich himself for the money. Clearly, he got a great job in the private sector after he left government. I think he was pushed out by the president. He did not want to be part of the MAGA movement. He did not want to be part of Donald Trump's vision for America. And I don't know if you're referring to this, but I want to go on record and make sure everybody knows there were fake emails going around that were supposedly between Paul Ryan and Mike Pence. Totally fake, 100% fake. I don't want to call out the people who were putting them out just because I don't want to call attention to it. But there was somebody who did a real deep dive, and I saw all the evidence. They traced it back to the original source. It was a truther channel. And it kind of made me mad. I guess they were trying to besmirch Mike Pence, and so they made this fake stuff up. They put it out there. I will tell you how I knew it was fake. There was supposedly a Pence Ryan for a ticket, like their website for their presidential race if they were going to run together. And
what?
And it was built on Wix. Okay. Anybody can go to Wix.com, make a free website like Pence and Ryan 2020 at Wix.com, whatever it is. But if you are a major presidential candidate running for office in the United States of America, the last place you're going to make a website is on a free website service like that. And it was amateurish. It didn't. I could tell just by looking at the design that it wasn't real. But people were pushing it. They were pushing it hard like it was real because people were already, they didn't like Paul Ryan. People were beginning to suspect that Mike Pence might not be a good person. And there were some claims that a man made who was a resident of Indiana. He claimed that Mike Pence had abused him as a child. You know what I'm saying?
It's like an anonymous source.
Well, he went out there. He put his name and face out there. He's dead now.
Oh,
though.
wow.
He said this stuff, and then he was he died. I don't know exactly how he died, but it was kind of a strange situation. But he said that about Mike Pence. Now I don't know that that's true. I cannot believe though that President Trump would choose a person like that to be his vice presidential running mate. I trust the instincts of the president. I just can't see that.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, me too.
I mean, unless, and I've said this before, unless he needed to choose him because Mike Pence could be controlled as a result of that. But I still feel like that is a stretch. I think that's a stretch. I mean, what's your feelings on Paul Ryan? What do you think? Was Paul Ryan your representative there?
No. I'm going to kind of remain anonymous in that sense, but
that's fine.
I just I don't know, man. I got this really weird gut feeling that all of, that huge falling out that Trump and Paul Ryan had.
Yes.
I honestly feel that is for optics, right? Because and it's going to tie into my next kind of like rabbit hole kind of dig thing. The fact that he has this huge falling out is blown up all over the media. Trump and him have these back and forth tweets that are just like, they're just kind of arguing a little bit, calling, because I think it was Ryan called out Trump for some just like outlandish allegation, and Trump just totally debunked it. But then Paul Ryan goes to Fox, right?
Yep.
And I mean, this is where I get a feeling that truly he's there for optics. So that whole thing was optics, just to get him to the board of directors of Fox, right? Now we know Fox News is the only news station that is, bipartisan. They have a liberal side and then they have a conservative side, albeit it's more liberal, like 70-30, 60-40, whatever you want to say.
Sure.
But it's, and you can't denounce it because let's say, back in 2016, Fox used to, and even before that, when the whole Russian probe and the Russiagate thing started to happen, we all knew it was total BS, but in the eyes of the liberals, we're especially talking like CNN, MSDNC, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That was perfect for them to use, because as weaponry, making us look like we're just crazy conspiracy theorists, right? Everyone's talking, the whole conservative side of Fox is talking about this and how it's like total BS, but the liberal side is just running with, they're crazy, they're conservatives, they just think of crazy conspiracy theorists and they're insane. But now we have all the incriminating evidence being completely blasted all over the conservative side of Fox. Now, I just can't imagine that it just has to be like, why is Paul Ryan on Fox, on the board of directors? Because we know Murdoch's a swamp creature.
Right.
How could he be allowing the incriminating evidence to air on his news station if he wasn't compromised? You know what I'm saying? And Paul Ryan was put in place to make sure that when the evidence were to be declassified, they could air it to the people of the nation. And not for nothing, that's all we've been seeing for like the last few months. Is all of we're sitting through D-class. We're living through D-class right now, like our favorite Anon says. So
I think it's a fair point. It's totally plausible. My opinion of Paul Ryan is based upon I never really cared for him. I didn't see him doing anything good for America. I never really felt like he had our backs. And then obviously, sure, but you're totally right. President Trump, he's had some very public skirmishes with a variety of people, and it seems to have been a complicated relationship at best. So it's very, very possible that Paul Ryan could be covertly, working for us and just did not want to appear to be publicly.
Well, and what, and I definitely kind of agree with that too, because, our favorite Anon goes and says, Paul Ryan, the rising star of the Republican Party, is literally stepping down, or was he forced? Like forced as in like forced because he's working, behind the shadows with being, it all being optics. So
right.
I don't know. I can't imagine Murdoch being the swamp creature that he is, just like, this, 6 megacorps that own all the liberal news stations. They're they're going to flip it. They're going to spin it. They're going to lie to the end because, their lives are at stake. But why isn't Fox? That's where it just totally been support. Like I feel supports my notion on this.
Yeah. Well, I'm willing to at least consider it, and I certainly would hope that once all of this comes out, if Paul Ryan were to be revealed to be, a hero undercover this entire time, I would totally be down with it. But yeah, with regard to him being forced out of government, I mean, I always just assumed that he was forced out because he was a bad guy, you know. But I mean, I'm totally willing. I'm totally willing to consider it. I mean, it's a legitimate possibility in as much as the other option is as well.
Well, you know, and on that, because you got to think, you know, Nancy's second term was after Paul Ryan, you know, was forced to step down, and I don't believe we could have truly shown the world how evil and corrupt she was if we couldn't get her back being the Speaker of the House, seeing her draconian actions and measures that she's taking.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like it had to play out that way so the people could see just how bad and swampy the Democrat Party is.
Oh, I agree with you 100% there. You know, I mean, I think that Nancy Pelosi as the leader of the Democrat Party there in Congress, I mean, it was definitely necessary. I mean, obviously, you know, the Senate was the key. That's what they really needed, because otherwise the House is not going to be able to push anything through if the Senate doesn't want it to go through.
Yeah,
so
totally.
so they're just she's gonna, you know, continue to act like a drunken sailor, essentially, just swaying at the podium.
Yeah.
You know, and
Totally.
yeah, she's horrible. She's obviously horrible. And, you know, I mean, the incident that just happened with the salon, her coming out demanding an apology for the salon opening up.
Oh, my God.
to make the exception for her. I mean, how ridiculous is that? I don't know a single person with a favorable opinion of Nancy Pelosi in this country.
No, yeah, especially at that, the whole ice cream scandal, like, it's just... It's just a mess right now for all of them, and I'm loving it. I'm enjoying every second of every single day of the swamp being drained.
Me too.
And I just wanted to, you know, throw my rabbit hole out there, see what you thought, and I thank you very much. It's been an honor having me on your show today.
All right, brother. Thank you very much for calling in. I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate the thought exercise right there.
Yeah, amen. All right, man. God bless, and have a good night. I'm gonna continue watching your live stream.
All right, man. God bless. Take it easy. Peace.
All right, later.
All right, you guys. Also, Felix sent another chat, and he said, for the chat, I'm not voting, just bringing awareness. Oh, I knew you weren't going to vote, brother. I knew that if you were watching my show and giving us the information, there's no way you were going to vote. But yes, don't worry, everybody. Felix is just a concerned citizen of the world, not a citizen of the United States, but sounds like he is living here. Let's see. Michelle says, thank you for all you do for the country. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. It is my honor and a privilege to be able to serve here at the pleasure of the president and offer my assistance. Just looking to see if anything came through. Hunter. Wow. Thank you very much, Hunter. Sent a nice fat super chat. I appreciate that, brother. That is very, very nice. Let's see. Also, Scott says, everyone in California needs to check their voter registration. Dilly broke on Thursday that people are being categorized as mail-in or being unregistered. In my case, I was unregistered after voting in every election and primary since 2000. And I bet that you're a Republican, Scott. So yes, if you are a California voter, go and check to make sure that you are registered to vote. And I would say make sure that you are handing your ballot directly in at your local polling place. Do not trust people to come and take your ballot for you. Do not trust the mailman to bring it to the polling place. You know, these Dems are going to be doing a lot of different things, many different types of hanky-panky to make sure that they're going to steal this election. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody here. Okay, yes, I didn't miss anybody. All right. Chef Matt, you with those numbers that are on the screen, it's East Coast and West Coast. So no matter what your area code is, you can go ahead and call in. I mean, and to be honest with you guys, there is no long distance anymore. So just pick one of the numbers and call in, and hopefully we'll be able to get you on. Because we've got a lot of people here. All right, so let's go with Hog next, because I want to talk about this idea that he was bringing up last night. Hog, what's going on, brother? Oh. Are you there, Hog? Still muted.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. What's going on, dude? What's going on?
Nada. It's dropping like a degree every 10 minutes out here tonight.
Oh man, I thought it was cold too. Real red pill girlfriend was like, "No, it's hot," and I was like, "You're kidding me!" Like I got pants on and a flannel. Like I'm ready to turn the heat up.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, up at the farm, it's like 10 degrees cooler than where I'm at outside of Detroit.
Wow.
all the time.
So let's talk one more time about your idea from last night. Spell it out for us.
Well, wanted to kick the tires on that with you for a little bit longer, but basically, I had some friends that got these emails from their work, which is a big company around the Detroit area. Somebody was wearing a Trump mask or shirt or something at work, and then everybody got the blanket email in that particular department that BLM stuff was okay, and even the orange ribbons that they passed out for BLM were okay, but no political attire. So
I mean, completely ignoring the fact that BLM is an explicitly political movement.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny how they just, turn their head to that,
Yeah. Blinders.
Yeah. Tunnel vision to this. So I was like, we need to find, all these companies that are doing this and, let them show their hand. Let them show the public where they stand. Since they want to play the cancel culture game, let's do it full on. And that was where I came up. Let's just do MAGA Day at work, and let's just see what these companies do. Let them get their feathers ruffled, and let's start playing that game with them.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get tens of thousands of patriots all across the country to wear their MAGA gear to work on that single day, I think that we might be able to get some national news coverage. I mean, because a lot of places would probably be very upset if people get sent home. You can call your local news station, but like I said, if you receive an email from your company telling you that you can't wear MAGA gear to work, by all means, send it to me. I can redact your personal information and just leave the company information, and then we can publicize that email and we can show their hypocrisy. If they want you to wear BLM stuff, but they won't allow you to wear MAGA gear or even thin blue line stuff.
Right. Yeah, you can do teams and all that jazz, but no MAGA. But you can do all the BLM you want, which is just that just really fired me up. And I'm like, you know what? We got to find some way to organize and just get this thing pushed before the election happens.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about, doing it on that day of the first debate? It's less than a month. September 29th. Because that way, it kind of kills two birds with one stone. We show our support for the president. We can, kind of publicize this silent majority and show just how many people are supporting President Trump. And then also we get this, this unveiling of companies that are hypocritical.
Right. And then a month of us to boycott them and publicize it and get it out there and, make them go the way of Goodyear and everybody else that decided to get woke and go broke. Yep.
Say goodbye to Goodyear. Say goodbye to Gillette. What is? Do you know where Goodyear stands? Their stock tanked, but I don't know if they recovered or not.
I don't know either, but I do know that they tried doing a 180 a few days after that. I don't know how that went. I was just like, I'm in the automotive industry anyway, so I'm like, oh, Goodyear tires suck anyway. So they didn't lose a customer with me, but I wasn't going to buy them anyway.
Good stuff. Awesome, man. So, yes, everybody was upset that I dropped Baby Yoda before. I didn't know what to do. So I picked him back up, and I saw that Baby Yoda was in the chat. So, honey, will you get me some water? You want
Does Baby Yoda have a dent on his head now?
No, he doesn't have a dent. He just asked if Baby Yoda had a dent on his head. You'll hear it in a second. There's a delay. All right, brother. What else is on your mind, man?
Not a whole lot. Just wanting to figure out how we can just get this thing organized. And, I'm sure after, one good round of that, it's going to be blocked on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then Facebook. So we want to hit it hard and hit it fast, before it gets, memory hold. I think that's the one hurdle we need to worry about.
Do you have a way that you want people to get in touch with you? to help organize?
You know what? If they can just get a hold of you, we can sift through it. And, you know, as for organizing online, that's not really my thing.
Okay.
It's not my strong suit.
All right. Well, I'm going to put out an open an open invitation. Is that if there's anybody out there who wants to organize what we're talking about, I would appreciate you reaching out to me, and then I can start putting people in contact with each other. The only problem is for me, I've got 25 different irons in this fire. So if somebody else wants to organize it, I would so appreciate it. But I will definitely publicize it here on the channel.
Yeah, I mean, even something as simple as just, hashtag MAGA at work day.
There you go. Yeah, that works.
All right. Post your pictures, run that hashtag. I mean, just a crazy idea off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, even just MAGA at work, I mean, just hashtag MAGA at work. I mean, simplify it a little bit. And I think that would work out real good. I mean, I'll wear a MAGA shirt here on the air. I've got several awesome Donald Trump MAGA shirts. We'll wear those. All right, brother. Listen, man, thanks for your call, Hog. I appreciate you calling in, and I hope you continue to have a good time on the farm.
Yeah, I'm trying. Fighting bees right now. I was, I had to maintenance the batteries in my solar panel array, and I started opening the cabinet up for that, and there's probably about a cantaloupe size, what do they call those, yellow jacket hive in there. Yes. Yeah, got stung, and had to go into town and get some spray, and I went out there tonight and sprayed it all down and beat the crap out of the nest. So good. Hopefully tomorrow I can get back to battery maintenance.
All right. Good stuff.
It's always an adventure.
Beautiful. All right.
All right, man.
Peace. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you in the chat.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Awesome stuff. So what do you guys think? MAGA at work? We do a MAGA at work day. Would you guys be willing to wear MAGA to your place of employment? Give me a 1 if you would be willing to wear MAGA to your place of employment on a particular day. I was thinking September 29th, the date of the first debate, the same day that we're going to be doing the MAGA meetup in Ohio. But yeah, give me a 1 in the chat if you would do it. Baby Yoda says yes. Old School, Cindy Watts, Hog, Bob's Your Uncle, Mud Rabbit, Marine Bulldog, Renee, L. Kate. Looks like everybody's down. Okay. Yeah, so I think we can do this, guys. I think we could probably make this really successful. All right, let's take the next caller. Let's see here. Let's try to take somebody who is on the phone. We're going to go to this caller right here. All right, caller, you're on the air. Can I get your name? And can you mute the stream in the background?
Let's see here. Let's try to take somebody.
All right, caller, mute your stream in the background because it's coming through the microphone on your phone. Once you mute your stream, go ahead and unmute the Zoom call so that we can speak with you. Let me see. We've got 3,200 people here, guys. 1,600 likes. Please consider leaving a like and sharing this broadcast. That's right. The Flynn hearing is on September 29th, too. Good stuff. All right. I'm going to unmute you, caller, and we're going to see. Well, unfortunately, it won't allow me to unmute you. I have to ask you to unmute. Caller 1346. Caller 1346. Are you there? You're going to have to unmute. All right, caller, we're going to put you back into the waiting room. You guys be ready to mute your stream. Be ready to mute your stream. We'll take Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda, since I brought Baby Yoda out here in remembrance of the real Baby Yoda in the chat. Baby Yoda getting connected. Thank you for the water, honey.
Hey, Zach, how's it going, buddy?
Good. How are you, dude?
I'm doing fine, but guys want to know something really funny? I've got the biggest lump on my forehead.
What happened?
I slipped. I'm packing for a road trip of a lifetime.
Right on.
And I have a bunch of camping gear out, and I just kind of tripped on it, and I was holding stuff. I couldn't stop myself, and I did a full-on face plant into one of the rock flower beds, and that's why I'm not on on the video because I got this 2-inch gash in my forehead and my eyes all puffy.
Dude.
So it's,
I hope you're okay.
Yeah, you dropped me on the floor, man.
Oh,
I'm glad you
man.
picked me up. I thought the dogs were going to start having their way with me.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Hey,
well, I think the last time you called in, you were also getting ready for a camping trip. I mean, you must be an avid camper there, Baby Yoda.
I am. And you guys know how I am always bringing up the bacon. It's all American.
Right.
I'm gonna start a channel and start sharing my travels.
That's a great idea.
I've built a truck cab, a camper shell on the back that I've built out. That's all stealth, where I can go anywhere, and it doesn't look like I'm carrying, expedition gear. And I'm going to share my travels and all over the United States and probably down into Baja California.
Oh, that's awesome.
I need some help with a name for the channel, and I think something like Bacon Yoda. It can't be Baby Yoda. It's too hard to find because there's so much of that on the net. But I just thought I would share that with you guys, that I'm gearing up. I would have already been on the road, but I feel like I just can't leave the news, because if I leave for a week, I have to catch up. It doesn't take a day to catch up. I'm digging like 12 to 14 hours a day, and I don't know how you do it. I've kind of reached a point where I need to back away. And so we've got our first snow coming in up here in Colorado, and we'll probably get about 7 inches. And I'm going to go head up into a canyon where if you get a half inch of snow, you're snowed in.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to go head up in there and just spend a few days off grid. And then Zozo Dude 77 is on a road trip, and he's going to stop in and see me on his way back from across the United States. You guys check him out, Zozo Dude 77. He's giving little updates as he travels across the United States, and he's a cool dude. But anyway,
Brooke Castle says Red Pill 80, the bacon detector.
She is so cool. She makes me laugh. We have a good rapport.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
And, anyway, I don't want to take up too much time. I know there's a bunch of other people out there. I'll let you all know when I start my channel. I really have to build a computer and then change the name. But you all know I have about 65 followers from just click back when you could just click on the name,
Sure.
And it'll get out.
Awesome.
You got any questions for me?
I'll be looking forward to it. First question is, did you have to get stitches for the gash in your forehead, or did you just use some new skin and tape it up?
No, I really didn't have to do anything to it. It closed up just fine.
Okay. All right.
I felt so stupid.
Dude, it happens. I actually have hit my head on a number of different occasions, but face planting. That's one of those ones where you're like, what is wrong with me? Because your first instinct is usually for your arms to go out, but when it doesn't happen, you're like, what's going on? Yeah. I'm glad you're okay though.
It would have been pretty funny to see. I mean, it was a semi-scorpion face plant.
Oh, dude. All right. Well, listen, Baby Yoda, be safe, okay?
Hey, all right, guys. I love you all. You guys you have such a good family here, Zach.
Absolutely.
You really do. I really appreciate what you do. And I don't know how you do it. You just flawlessly and seamlessly with perfection. I appreciate it.
That means a lot, dude. Oh, I couldn't do it without you and everybody else, so I love you all too, and thank you very much, man. I appreciate your kind words.
All right, word to your mom.
All right, yeah, mother. Real Red Pill mom. Baby Yoda says hi. All right, peace, dude. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care, buddy.
Yeah,
bye.
you too. Bye-bye. All right, you guys. So Lisa Lady in the chat, I just sent out a tweet. Apparently, her grandson has been taken away from her by family court. Looks child social services. I know that her daughter was in a hit-and-run accident. She was hit by a truck, and now she's living in an assisted living facility as a result of that accident. And it's a very tragic story. But here, I will show Ooh, that's the wrong one. I will show the tweet right there. And you guys, if you want to follow her, this is her account. I will go ahead and copy that link and put it into the chat. I'm so sorry to hear that, Lisa lady, and I hope that there's still an opportunity for you to get your grandson back. Craig Mason's Reasonable Conversation channel is in the chat. We were watching Craig earlier today. Craig is must-see Saturday morning viewing. Well, I mean, I guess it's Saturday early afternoon, but Saturday morning for him. All right, you guys, we'll bring in the next caller, and once again, thank you everybody for being here. We've got Cynthia. Cynthia's iPhone is coming up next. I can't believe we've been on the air for an hour and 20 minutes already. Cynthia, welcome to the broadcast. We just need to get your microphone working, and we'll get your questions answered. Cynthia, oh, it says your microphone is on, but I don't hear anything. Speak to me. Hello, hello. No, it's not working. It's not working. No, it's not working. Oh, man. Hello? Are you there? No, it's still not working. It's still not working. Cynthia, testing. All right, Cynthia, you go ahead and continue to work on it. I'm going to bring the next caller in because I know what a bummer it is when your microphone doesn't work on Zoom. We're going to bring Jeff in next. And hopefully, Cynthia, your microphone will sort itself out. Jeff is also getting his audio connected. Jeff, welcome to the show. Lisa, I know you sent me this email, but gosh, this is so sad. There's only so much information that's in your tweet thread right here, and I don't understand why they took your grandson if you already got the adoption.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Jeff, hello, welcome to the show. What's going on tonight?
Not a lot. I just want to let you know I'm retired military.
Okay.
It's been a career with the Q community, and the stuff they're publishing about Trump and the military not behind him, everyone I know is supporting Trump, and they plan on voting Trump. So that article is total BS.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't know a single person who has seen that article and believes the junk that's in there. I mean, everybody's come out against it. Even John Bolton, who does not have a good relationship with President Trump, has come out to say that it's complete garbage. And I believe there was a source that was quoted in the article itself, and that person even came out to say that what was stated in the article wasn't true. Thank you for your service. What branch did you serve in?
I was with the Navy. And every branch of the service, y'all were talking about JAG a while ago. JAG is for the Navy.
Okay.
It's Navy and Marine Corps. And every one of the services have their own. And anybody that's involved in the military, whether there be a civilian or not, falls under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. And that right there would be congressional leaders, different people that fall into the military chain of command would still be under military law, and the military would investigate their own stuff.
Okay.
They have people specifically assigned to do that.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate the clarification. That's basically what I thought it was, but is there any time if somebody, well, I mean, I guess if a congressman or something like that, I mean, if they break like campaign finance laws, obviously that's just going to go through the DOJ. I mean, what would it take for them to actually be brought through the military tribunal or some type of court-martial system? Is that specifically in times of war?
It's not specifically in times of war, but if they commit acts against the United States and like treason and that type of stuff, that would fall under military law. And the military law is a lot different than civil law.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a lot stricter, and there's no jury trials.
Well, you still have a jury, but it's of military people.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess I figured it was more like a panel, but it is like it's a jury all the same. Is it like a military judge and a military jury?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Now, if you are active duty and you break a law or something, is there ever a time that it would be prosecuted by the DOJ, or would it always go through the military system?
You get double jeopardy sometimes, where you can be tried by the military and by DOJ.
Okay.
Depending on what you did. If you commit a crime in a town, something that is a civil type thing, the military is going to try you for doing that also, whatever it may be.
All right. All right. Well, what else is on your mind?
Well, that was the two big things. And I just wanted to clarify that thing on the laws, and to tell you that the military does support Trump, and these people are lying through their teeth. And it's got to change, and it needs to change soon, because a lot of people are getting fed up with Antifa and BLM and all these people destroying stuff for no reason.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And I think that law enforcement is starting to get fed up with it, too. I mean, you've got people, sheriffs and various police departments openly defying the orders of governors and mayors. You've got a lot more people in law enforcement who are taking action against these people. I saw some footage earlier today. There was a woman who was a BLM protester, and she was illegally blocking lanes of traffic. And I think it was a state cop. He came up and he yanked her out of the car so that they could remove the car from traffic. But you're starting to see a lot more stuff like that.
Well, you're seeing that, and you're seeing a lot of the military guys that are in the same case I am. We're retired, we're old and fat, but we can still do what we were trained to do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. So somebody had also asked about getting called back up again. Can you clarify that? If let's say we do go to war, or let's say that there is a need for soldiers to come back, or maybe specialized positions, can they just call you up on the phone and say, "Hey, we need you to report back for duty"?
They can.
All right.
They ask you to come back to duty. When you retire, it's a different. You're in a different status, per se. But once you leave the military, you have to spend 30 years for retirement, and you'll go into an inactive reserve, and they call you back anytime during that period up to 30 years. After 30 years, they will request you to come back.
Okay.
If they need your specialty. But we all took an oath that we would support and defend the Constitution and our way of life against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Mm-hmm. When you retire, you are not relieved of that duty.
No. Excellent. Well, once again, thank you very much for your service, and I appreciate you calling in and clarifying that stuff for us.
All right. Thanks. Me and my wife enjoy your show. Thanks.
All right. Thank you both for watching. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right.
Have a great night. Yep. Bye-bye. All right, and it looks like Cynthia disconnected. I am so sorry to hear that. Okay, so we'll get her back on. But you guys, just to clarify one more time, this is Lisa Lady's Twitter profile. She needs prayers, and I don't know anything more. It doesn't specify anything more about the circumstances. But Lisa, if you could send me an email detailing this, or if you want to call in tonight, I'll totally have you here on the show to tell us about this. But this is really, really sad, and I'm so sorry to hear this. I just got an email from her asking me to talk about this, and I didn't know the content of what was going on until I pulled it up live on the air here. So, Lisa, if you're on the line, then I would be happy to have you on here to tell us what's going on. This is not good. Okay, let's go ahead and take our next caller. All right, caller, you're on the air. Can I get your name for the audience?
Yeah, this is Red Pill.
You are Red Pill, or I'm Red Pill?
Well, that was my question. Just give me a second here, because I'll be honest, I was listening to the feed, so it messed me up.
Yeah, no, I don't have any call screeners. Nobody works for me. It's all just me.
No, that's great. I'll tell you what, you give me about 5 seconds, and I'm going to turn off There we go. I think I just took care of it. Are we clear now?
Yeah, I've got you loud and clear.
Perfect. This is Jasper Bengal, shouting out to you from the Democrat stronghold of Maryland, if you can believe that.
Jasper, welcome.
The state's
welcome.
actually, well, thanks. It's actually a lot more red here than what you'd see on paper. So, it's a pleasure. Been on hold for a minute, but nonetheless, got about 8% battery, so we'll see how far I can get.
Oh, man, we got
I'll
you
try
just
and
in
condense
time.
it. It's funny because I was trying to follow, when you're on that call, on that queue, so to speak, it cuts the audio off of the YouTube. So I'm sitting there trying to read lips and look at the text to see where it's going. But
I never considered. Okay, so I'm such a tech guy. I've got like my iPad, my iPhone, my computer. So like if I'm on a call to somebody, I'm like still watching it. Honestly, I watch on my TV because I don't watch YouTube. I don't have any television. I only watch YouTube. So I just put it up on the
smart,
TV.
wise man.
Yeah. Get yourself a Roku or an Apple TV. I think they're like $100 and they're well worth it. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it really is going that way, and it's funny. I estimate I was born in '84, so without fortune telling, I'd say you're in the same age bracket as me. But
78.
It's interesting. Oh, get out! Well, you know what? Hey, you got to show me where the fountain of youth is, brother. Because whatever you're eating and drinking, it's you got anything to share, I'll definitely take care of you any way I can. I know you take Bitcoin donation addresses.
Yeah.
So I Bitcoin's always sort of been a really exciting thing. Very, you really got to have your head in the game with it, but it's an excellent way to sort of secure funds free from the cabal stooges.
Well, you know what? The IRS just changed the game with regards to that. They have now they've put Bitcoin and all cryptocurrencies front and center on the new tax returns, the new 1040s for next year. They're asking people to self-report all microtransactions. So it doesn't matter how small. They want to know whatever amount of Bitcoin you've got. And let's just say that, like Bitcoin is at a certain value when you receive it, and then, it's at a different value later. How are they deciding how much you're supposed to get taxed on and stuff? And when are you taxed on it? Because most people that I know, I've got Bitcoin, I've got Ethereum, I've got Litecoin,
Ether.
So but I'm not touching them. I'm leaving them alone. Ethereum, geez, oh Pete, I almost put a bunch of money into Ethereum, like 6 months ago, and I wish I would have because it doubled very recently. And
I'm sure you probably had your head in the game. I think, what was it, 2017, when it was almost, out of control, and everybody and their brother, you knew that something was coming down the pike when the stranger down the street was saying, "Hey, have you heard of Bitcoin?" And it was like, well, yeah, kind of been sitting on it, but yeah, I saw that coming too. And it's kind of one of those things where if the IRS comes asking, the way I see it, look at the big picture, right? If Joe Biden is, claiming or pretending, so to speak, to be, a victim of dementia, well, then I just don't recall as far as they're concerned.
What's Bitcoin? I don't know nothing about Bitcoin.
Well, look, it's a pleasure, just to be on here and just to let you know that, there are a lot of folks out there that, share and like-minded souls that, are supporting you and this entire movement. It's a lot bigger than what, what the powers that shouldn't be for now would like you to believe. So, with having said that, I got to ask you the $1 million question. When exactly, when did you actually, what set you down the red pill path, what really, set the wheels in motion to where, you decided, what, I've had enough. I really want to get out there and just sort of, people need to know, that things aren't what they seem, because, it's not just you. Of course, you have a much bigger platform than a lot of folks. And, I could count on less than one hand, how many folks I would consider are influential, in my life and my, what you would call social life. I say that because, like you said earlier, with the TV, I got a TV, but I hardly ever watch it. It's just Twitter, if you can believe that. There actually are some free thinkers on there. So I just wanted to ask you, what really, red pilled you? and got you started on the path you're on to where you're at now, because you've definitely amassed quite a platform and you're doing great. And
thank you.
I wouldn't miss your podcasts, your live feeds for anything.
Well, I appreciate it. The way you just said, podcast too. I haven't announced this yet. I put it on Twitter, but I just got my shows starting to publish as a podcast, audio only podcast.
So you were able to negotiate with the Apple folks.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's honestly pretty easy. I mean, I got to do all the work, but then I just hit publish.
Of course.
They had like a review period. It took them a couple of days, and they said, okay, you're good to go. They didn't ask me any questions or anything, but so you can check me out on Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all of the top podcast platforms. If you guys don't have time to watch the videos, you can download those, and then maybe you can listen to them while you're at work or something like that. But just want to let everybody know that. Okay, but I've got a couple of different stories. For brevity, I want to say my friend Floyd Standifer, due diligence right there. I just answered the question on his show the other day, so I will hold back on my very first red pill, and I will say you go watch that video on Floyd's channel. But I've had in a larger perspective, I've had a number of different stages of awakening throughout my life. I had the original one.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, but so I mean, when I was very young, I something a conversation between me and my mom opened my eyes, and that really set my path for the rest of my life. But throughout the years, 9/11 was an awakening. I knew things were bad, but I mean, like, that let me know that things were really, really bad. And then, even further than that, when Barack Obama was president, I remember thinking, during his first inauguration, I didn't know that much about him, and I wasn't really, I was focused on being a single dad, I was working full time. I was going to school.
Congrats,
Yeah, thank you. So, so I was focused on life and parenting, and I wasn't focused on so much the news or, looking into things in that respect.
I understand. I'm in that balance now, actually.
Yeah, and it's a tough thing, so, but, I wanted to believe that Barack Obama was going to be a good guy and a good president, but very shortly after he was elected, I started seeing different things, and I for a while there, I listened to Alex Jones. I mean, it was the only place that you could go at that time to get.
At that time, I mean, there weren't that many folks out there that were really, touching on those subjects that were, now it's dinner table talk. It's amazing to see how many people that are like, oh yeah, did you hear about Wayfair? And it's like, you guys bashed me, lamp-basted me in 2016 for this kind of stuff. But now it's like,
it's changed. It's changed so much, and then now specifically for the channel, what really did it? I mean, President Trump being elected, our favorite Anon, starting to post. There were other anonymous insiders that were posting before, and that's how I discovered Q's, because I was looking for posts on those. It was just like a couple of days after the very first post, and I saw that. And then I was like, okay, wow, this really has an air of legitimacy that the others don't necessarily have. But when Eric Swalwell made the comment that he wanted to nuke Second Amendment proponents, I don't know, man. Something happened, and I was like,
that's the straw that kind of breaks the back.
Yeah, and I was like, this is just ridiculous. I can't believe that he would be stupid enough to say that, and that's so inflammatory. And so I made that my very first video on that. It was, I think like 1,000 people watched it, and I was like, wow, I can't believe that this many people watched my video.
You got that feedback, and you just rode the wave.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so if I'm really going to, because I mean, like, at the heart of it, I wanted to do something to combat what was happening in the mainstream media.
You are. I got to tell you, you really are. I mean, like I said before, I'm coming at you from a Democrat stronghold for the most part. And I really wouldn't be too surprised to see, this state actually turn right, at least my district. I mean, where I'm at isn't you hear about, we border D.C., and I mean, unfortunately, I work there, but not in the capacity that everyone's reading about, fortunately. So it's I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see it really turn red. A lot of areas that, I don't know about the Northwest. I mean, we all know that area has really been that way for decades. We'll see,
Yeah. I think things are going to change here in November. I think that some historically Democrat areas, especially up there in the Northwest. I mean, it doesn't matter, what your politics are. If you're living in Portland or you're living in Seattle, I mean, I would be hating life right now, and I know exactly where to point the finger.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's what really, and I hate to say it because, I've said this before. It's like, if it weren't for all the death and destruction, this would be the greatest live entertainment. And I'm talking about, all the, you see the newspapers and you see, what the common folks are talking about. It's like, this is literally like, we're literally living and there's different schools of thought on this, but, we're living a horror, suspense, thriller movie in real life here.
It's very
true. You really can't make this up. It's unfortunate that there are people that are, dying and that losing their jobs and whatnot. But it's interesting for me to see how, a lot of these folks from, areas where it's predominantly been very progressive, very liberal, very even anti, Second Amendment, anti-constitutional. And these are the same folks as of recent who really, recognize the importance of the Second Amendment. I mean, I've got friends who are, have always been very liberal, and now they're like, why can't I get, a long gun or a pistol delivered like Amazon? It's like, you're late to the party, bro.
Oh my God.
Been that way for decades.
What's funny is that many people on the left thought that that's something that you could do. Like, you just go on Amazon and order an AR. But it's ridiculous.
No, it's an awakening on their part,
All right. Well, Jasper,
it really is.
Jasper, thanks for your call, brother. I appreciate you calling in. And thanks for everything you said, man.
Hey, keep that truth flowing, man. I'm gonna throw some BTC in your
awesome, dude.
In your donation.
I'll be looking, man. I appreciate that.
All right, take care, and everybody, God bless. Thanks.
God bless, brother. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Now, somebody in the chat said, what about Rush Limbaugh? Oh, yeah. I mean, I've known about Rush Limbaugh since I was a real little kid. My aunt and uncle always listened to Rush Limbaugh, so I would listen to it when I was over at their house. And, by the time when I was talking about, I was listening to Alex Jones, that was the only place that I could find news and information that was explosive about the Obama administration and like the scandals and what was going on, the truth about it. I was looking for stuff that was way outside the mainstream. So I mean, I didn't consider Rush Limbaugh as explosive, I guess. Even though there were similar things that he and Alex were talking about at that time. Okay, let's see, man. I want to go bring in Floyd real quick so that he can tell you guys about his channel real quick, because we just did an interview and I don't know if it's come out because I haven't really been on YouTube and I haven't gotten any notifications. Why is it showing me twice? There we go. All right. Floyd, welcome back to the show. Due diligence himself. Floyd, are you there, brother?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, listen, I haven't gotten a notification on your channel about that interview, and I just wanted to know if it has been released yet.
It's been released. I released it about within 12 hours afterwards. Hang on, let me get my camera up.
All right. I will go and share it. So we'll share it on the community page on my channel, so you guys can go ahead and watch it. Art Bell.
Sounds
good.
Yeah,
I listen to Art Bell all the time. I used to listen to Art Bell all the time, man. It's too bad Art's gone. But yeah, what's on your mind? Floyd, did we lose you? Did we lose you, Floyd? Are you there? Oh, man. Are you there, bud?
Huh?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
You're back. You're back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're good.
That interview, and unfortunately I'm still working on the editing side of it, but we got a compliment on that one.
Really? From who?
Her name is Maria. I can't remember her last name, but the comment was goosebumps.
Really?
When you said when you said the Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, wow.
So, Yeah, apparently that idea was probably, I would honestly say it was one of the best ideas ever.
Good stuff,
So,
man. Well, I had a great time doing it.
Oh man, that was so much fun. I was a ball of nerves the entire time, and then when my oldest stepson, because that was who it was that jumped on the Xbox Live, when he jumped on, killed it, and I brought it all back. That's the reason why it's still 2 parts. But I've been doing my due diligence on the video editing software, and man, oh man, oh man, I don't know how you do it, but doggone it, I'm still trying.
Oh, dude, believe me, it's a steep learning curve, but once you get it, it clicks and it'll stick with you for sure.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that one, and also with the other veteran that was on a little bit earlier.
Yep.
He is correct, and because of the fact that we're still under a declaration of war.
That was what I forgot to bring up. I mean, ever since 9/11, it's never gone away.
No, it hasn't.
Yeah.
And there's a good reason for it. So now think of all of those dirty things that all these, for lack of better terminology, we'll call them yahoos.
Yep.
All those crimes that they've been committing the entire time is all been recorded.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
They will not be, and because of the fact that they're federal employees, elected officials and stuff like that, they are now subjected to double jeopardy. They're going to get nailed by the military tribunals first. Then after they're done with their sentences, then comes the judicial or the civil side of it.
DOJ. Okay. Wow. Okay. That's great.
So that was one of the biggest reasons why, and I'll be honest with you, my entire military career, I've been in the right place at the right time to hear various different things. And it's just always been surprising. It's like, okay, well, I'll retain that one.
All right. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Oh yeah. But no, that interview was so much fun. I had a great time.
Yes, as did I.
Yeah, and the next person I'm going to interview is Adel Nero.
Oh, 412. Yeah, good friend. Yeah. Awesome, man. That'll be great.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. I'd love to get TN Homesteader on there too, but
Tennessee. Oh, I'm sure Tennessee would do it too, man. He's a great guy.
Oh yeah, but man, you're doing a great job, and seriously, I can't thank you enough for doing what you did for me. So.
Oh no, don't even think twice, dude. I appreciate it. I'm glad I could help, and I can't wait to watch it, and I'm very excited about it.
All right, but don't worry, I'm still working on the edited version where I can put the whole thing in one video instead of 2.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, Floyd. Thanks for calling, brother.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
You too. We'll see you. All right, you guys. Okay, so we've got 14 minutes left and 19 people still on the hold. I'm trying to pull some people that we have not had on the show before. Let's go with Carlos Danger's laptop. That would be Anthony Weiner. Anthony Weiner was Carlos Danger. Oh, Carlos Danger, are you there? We got to get your microphone on.
Hey, what's happening, Red Pill?
What's up, Carlos Danger?
I hope there's no 14-year-old girls around here watching your show, because Carlos Danger's going to find them, and he's going to tweet at them hard.
That's right. What a despicable human being, that Anthony Weiner. What's going on, man? I love the screen name. That's hilarious.
I'm just glad somebody found my laptop. I had a lot of insurance.
Oh, were you worried, Carlos, when you couldn't find it when you woke up?
Well, I'm out of the country now.
Okay.
Well, maybe it is the country. It's getting on, America. Oh, I can't tell anymore.
It counts. I'm pretty sure it counts.
This is the only moment of freedom I've had in a long, long time. They let me out for 5 minutes. They gave me a phone and they said, call anyone in the world.
Oh, you got that rec time and you called into Red Pill 78. Well, Carlos, I appreciate that, man. What else is going on?
I wanted to let you know something I figured out in prison.
Okay.
About Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Please.
You see, if you sell it, well, then you've traded something, like that gold you like so much.
Yes.
That's a tax implication, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Now, what if you took out a loan against your crypto? Would that be a tax implication? Carlos Danger doesn't think so.
I don't think so either.
Well, I'm here to let you know. I'll send you on Twitter. There are borrowing and lending platforms fully developed and operating, running on Ethereum.
Beautiful.
You take your crypto.
Yeah.
You borrow some DAI or some USDT. You didn't sell anything. As long as the price of the crypto doesn't drop, I don't know, more than 50%.
Yeah.
You got some cash to play with. Buy yourself a new microphone.
There you go. Awesome stuff, dude.
Long-time fan, first-time caller, all-time pedophile great, Carlos Danger. I will be calling back, and it's a pleasure, man. So glad I can make a smile appear on your face with the horrible shit I've done in my life.
Well, Carlos, there's always time to repent. Make sure that you do that while you're there in Gitmo. Thank you very much for your call, dude. I appreciate it.
I think next time I'll be sending you some crypto instead.
All right.
Take care, brother.
Take it easy, man. We'll talk to you soon. Peace. Oh, that's great. All right. Let's see. Let's take another one of these phone numbers here. All right, caller, you're on the air. Can I get your name?
This is Jilly.
Jilly. How are you, Jilly?
Yeah. Good. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind?
Well, I wanted to share an open source tool with you that I created with you and your audience.
All right.
But I wanted to tell you a little bit about how it came to be.
Okay.
What I really would like to do is get it into as many hands as possible. And I have it pinned on my Twitter page, so I'll talk about that in a minute. But I wanted to kind of tell you how it came to be. Okay. It's called The Greatest Story Ever Told, The Great Awakening.
Okay.
And when I live in Phoenix, and when Doug Belmore, University,
yes,
you know who Doug is, right?
Good
okay. When he's a sweetheart. When he got fired from the local community college district, I reached out to him on Twitter because I also teach for them, but as an adjunct. So we kind of formed a friendship, and from that, I also worked with him, and we formed also a local Q group here in Phoenix. So that's been kind of fun as well. Good. But after what Doug went through, it kind of dawned on me that at some point, because I work in higher education for my day job as well as being an adjunct. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of dawned on me, like, how am I going to help my coworkers understand what's going on when the truth comes out? Because, you know, from having formed a friendship with Doug and knowing his whole story, you know what we're up against.
Oh, yes.
In higher education, right?
Mm-hmm.
Conservatives are are truly the silent majority. Like, we don't speak out. Mm-hmm. But rarely. Although recently, I think it's gotten people have gotten a little braver. But regardless of that, I just started thinking, like, how am I going to help explain this to people? I just imagine someday when the big arrests start, right, and word's gotten out, and people are not understanding. Like, I just kind of saw myself, like, how am I going to help explain it? So I created this tool. Now I'm on the very tail end of the baby boomers. So I'm kind of the older generation, as a lot of conservatives are. We've got, I think, all age groups. Mm-hmm. We definitely have some older folks. So I'm not high techy. It is in PowerPoint form. But I've had a lot of people reach out to me. I had a gentleman in France ask if he could translate it into French, and I was like, "It's open source, dude. My name's not on it for a reason. Please take it, download it, change it, do whatever you want." With it. I've also had people ask me if I would consider animating it or turning it into something more high-techy. And my whole thing is, you know, anybody who wants to take that on, please do it, because it's just not my forte.
Sweet.
But this particular tool is not fancy in design, but it is absolutely loaded with source facts. It basically starts at the Kennedy assassination and goes through paperclip, explains, everything that had occurred that kind of led up to the assassination, and then what's happened since then, and goes into basically kind of the pinnacle of the whole thing is about the child sex trafficking, of course, that's the deep state's lifeblood. And then goes into how there's a military, operation that's going on. And then I don't really mention the president until very late. because I kind of envisioned walking people through this, and I didn't want to trigger Trump derangement syndrome, on the first slide.
It's a good idea.
I put a lot of thought into it. Yeah, thank you. I put a lot of thought into it. I spent a lot of time on it. I keep it updated with the number of sealed indictments. I try to really, anytime I run across any sort of new, article or just anything that I really feel supports what's in there, I go ahead and, and I update it. It's pinned to my Twitter page, and I just wanted to, call it out, and also just let people know that it's there. They can go, they can retweet it, they can download it, again, do what they want with it. It may not be for everybody. I realize, PowerPoint is old school, but it is something that...
What's your Twitter handle? I'll get it pulled up right now.
Oh, cool. It's Jilly Bean, and then all one word, and then also part of that, Tukee, Jilly Bean Tukey. And it's pinned to my page. I also have in my bio an article that I wrote about the president and the end of the Kali Yuga, which is, I don't know if any of your callers are familiar with that, but I'm more spiritual than religious. I like to study lots of different religions, and this is the Kali Yuga is about ancient Hinduism and the end of the cycle we're coming to, right? Going into the Satya Yuga, which is what most of us know as the Golden Age. So I have an article in my profile as well that I just want to say, if that resonates with anybody, please go check that out. And so I just wanted to share that. I've tried to get it out to as many people as I can on Twitter, but I'm a smaller account, so it takes time and all that kind of stuff. And then
I just retweeted it, and I dropped the link to the Google Doc into the chat as well.
Oh, well, thank you. You're so sweet. And then I wanted to ask your opinion on something completely unrelated to this, but to the top topics at hand. So the only thing I think a lot of people have any concerns about coming up in November is the mail-in, right? Everyone, there's just a lot of, we know POTUS is going to win by a landslide regardless, but, what kind of headaches are we going to be facing afterwards?
Sure.
I was just curious if you or any of your listeners, like, what are the thoughts on if, let's just say the craziest thing happens and, they harvest ballots and they call into question everything and all kinds of craziness happens. Do you think that, much like had HRC stolen the election in 2016, the military would have stepped in, right? That was the thing, POTUS wins, or there was going to be a coup to take back our government from the deep state. Do you think if they were successful in that, do you think that they will do that again? I'm just curious.
I think that is the only viable option if they are successfully able to fake the vote in that way. And the reason I think so is because, clearly America is done if they do that. I don't think that President Trump is going to lose, but if they're able to do that, America is done. And if the military minds that are behind this operation were willing to consider it back in 2016, then I think that they would have no other choice than to go ahead and do that if it comes down to it with the situation here in November. Now, I think that President Trump and the DOJ and many other federal agencies that are keeping an eye out for the legality of this upcoming election, I think they already know where the weak points are and the way that they're going to try to cheat. So I think that they are, without announcing it, they're ready and waiting to make sure that it doesn't happen. But yes, I think that if it does happen, then yes, I think that the military is going to have to step in, and I think that they would probably then have to publicize all the information that they know, so that they could show that it wasn't just a coup for Donald Trump. Yeah.
Right, him not being happy about, supposedly, quote, losing, that kind of thing. Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. And I think it is extremely, extremely like Razor. It's so remote, but it's just always been in the back of my mind, like if that happened, if the worst happened. I think we've got, there's talks of like quantum, voting systems. There's, that they have this under control, that we're watching a show, everything's already been figured out. Yeah. And I have a lot of faith in that. That's just always been the one thing in the back of my mind was, like, what if the deep state, does some sort of, I don't know, what do they call that when you, Hail Mary, right? I'm not a football person, but Hail Mary. That's the only thing is like, would that happen? So that makes me feel better. And I'm sorry, I wanted to call in before. I'm a little nervous. I haven't done it before. I'm glad I got through. I just wanted to share my name's not on it anywhere. It's for anybody to use. I just wanted to get it into as many Patriot hands as I could. And I've always wanted to ask that burning question. I typed it in the chat before, but I know the chat's always like going 90 miles an hour during the show. So
it definitely is. Well, Jilly Bean, thank you very much for calling in.
Thank you.
I'm glad you were able to make it, and I'm going to drop your Twitter one more time there in the chat. All right.
Oh, you rock. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. You have a great night. Yep. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. So you guys, it's almost time to go. I saw somebody say that they've been waiting on hold for like an hour and 40 minutes, so I'm going to bring them in. Hopefully that is them. Caller, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Can you mute your stream in the background?
Yeah, let me just lower it.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. Was that you that said you've been on the line for an hour and 40 minutes?
Yes, that's me.
Okay, I'm so sorry. And just so that everybody is aware, there's no way for me to tell like what order people called in, and that's why I'm trying to take people from different places all over in the chat, because I knew there was no way we were going to be able to get to anybody anyway. But I'm glad you waited, and I want to thank you very much for calling in. What can we get your name for the audience, or a name?
Yes, you can. My name is Tammy.
Tammy.
And my last initial is F. And I've been wanting for an interview from you. I actually emailed you a while ago, and I have an interesting story.
Okay.
And it needs to be put out there, and I want to be on public. Tonight you have a lot of people on, and I just want to let people know I'm being trafficked, and my town and my police force in this local town are involved.
Okay.
Local government. And I'm pretty scared. I'm pretty scared for my life.
All right. Well, Tammy, I'll be the first to admit that I don't get to read all of my emails because I get so many. But if you can send me an email like right now and put Tammy in the subject line, then I'll know it's from you, and I will get into the process of starting a dialogue, and we can see about having you come on for a proper interview. You're saying that you're scared. I mean, is it possible for you to get away? I mean, to get to a place where you can be safe?
I have been trying to sell my real estate. The real estate companies are involved. It is a network. It is a complete network. I'm going to say the name of my town should anything happen to me.
Okay.
It's going to be here on record. I'm in New Paltz, New York, and it's a small town.
Okay.
Yes, it's a small town, and they're all connected.
All right.
And the governor here obviously is pretty involved in every aspect of what goes on in New York. Yeah. And it's very scary. I'm pretty scared. And I want to go into detail, but I know we don't have time. I know you've been on for a long time.
Yeah.
Tonight. And my story is deep, and it's involved.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how I got involved with this. I don't know who they think I am, basically, but I can tell you they stole some TV show ideas from me. And one of them is called The View. And so probably after they stole that, they probably set me up so that I wouldn't be able to come after them. Okay. And it goes back to the 90s in New York City.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, definitely. I just do whatever you can to stay safe. Send me that email, and then we will set up a private Zoom call, and we can get into detail, and then we'll have you come on the show and we'll discuss it.
Can you give me your email address or just put in the link again? Because I have it somewhere. I emailed you a while ago. I told you some details, and then we never really had a chat.
Sure.
Thank you for praying. I see people praying in the comments for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Really appreciate it.
All right, so it's redpill78@protonmail.com.
At protonmail. Okay, perfect. And if there's anybody else, I've been on a couple of other YouTube stations where I talked about my situation, and I just want to be on as many places as possible to protect myself.
All right.
Because I feel like being public is the best way to do it.
I think you're probably right. Yeah, most definitely. All right, Tammy. Well, listen, we're past the time for the show to end, but definitely everybody will be praying for your safety, and I'll be looking for that email. Okay.
Thank you so much for what you do, and I appreciate your audience.
Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate you calling in. Have a wonderful night.
God bless.
Yep. God bless you as well. Okay, let's see. So looks like due diligence need to help. Okay, so yes, due diligence will be getting a hold of you as well. All right, you guys, we have come to the end of the broadcast. I'm so sorry to all the people that we didn't have time to get to, but I appreciate your understanding. This is great. Maybe I should do this more often so that we get a chance for people who haven't been able to call in to call in, and we can just have a chat. Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys want me to do this like once a month, because that would honestly take some pressure off of me for interviewing people. And if you guys would want to call in more often, and again, people who I didn't get to talk to tonight, we can make sure that we talk to you guys next time. So yeah, we're looking for those. Definitely ones in the audience. Looks like you guys are interested in it. I had a great time. If you haven't liked it yet, please consider leaving a like on your way out. I'll go ahead and I'll do this once a month. I'll just say right now, I'm going to start doing this once a month, and it is something that will continue on, a tradition, a new tradition here on Red Pill News. Also, keep in mind, I am going to be publishing my shows on podcast format now. So if you search for Red Pill News or Red Pill 78 on all the major podcasting platforms, you can find me there. And then you can listen when you're out walking your dog or while you're at work and you're supposed to be doing something else. All right, you guys, I love every one of you. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Thank you to everybody who supported the show. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to the mods for keeping the chat comfy. I'm going to go walk the dogs with Real Red Pill Girlfriend, and I know there's probably a couple of other shows that are about to start or maybe have already started, so thank you to anybody whose time I have stepped into. Good luck, everyone, and God bless. We'll be back tomorrow for Comfy Sunday at 7 p.m. with myself, Methods, and